Hello to all you Fisker stock investors. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a video answering where Fisker stock price will be in 2024. And that video was so well received. I got so many comments on that asking where will Fisker stock be in 2 years, not just in 1 year's time. So in this video, that's what I'll do. I'll answer where I think Fisker stock will be in 2 years, doing a similar type of valuation analysis. So let's get into these details and let's answer where we think Fisker stock could be.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so one of the numbers we're going to need to estimate where Fisker stock could be is Fisker's current stock price. And today was a really good day for Fisker stock. It was up over 20% at one point, given the news that came out with the deal it made with an investor to convert some of its debt into shares. And the stock price is now at 96 point or 0.967 cents per share, almost $1 per share. So it was a good day. We're going to need this number, okay? We're also going to need Fisker's price to sales ratio, which as of this recording was 4.120. 4.120. We're going to need that number as well. We're also going to need the estimates for where Fisker's revenue will be in 2025. And that number is 3.5 billion. We're going to need this number for revenue in the year 2025. And you're going to see that this is lower than just a couple of weeks ago when I did that video. These estimates have come down as investors have seen Fisker struggle to ramp up production and deliveries, having issues across the board. And so the estimates for where they think sales will be has come down for 2024 and 2025. So we're going to see that. We're going to incorporate that into our valuation. All right, so here we have our valuation model for where we think Fisker's stock price will be. So let me draw your attention first to this left-hand side here. Now, this was my previous estimate when I did the video a couple of weeks ago. You'll notice in 2024, estimated revenue was 2.31 billion. That has moved lower now in just 2 weeks, down to 2.16 billion. Further, the revenue estimate for 2025 was 3.97 billion, and that has come down to 3.5 billion. Now, these estimates are from Wall Street analysts that are following Fisker stock. They all put forth their forecast, and the estimate is a collection of all of those forecasts and creating an average among the forecasts. So some estimates might be higher, some might be lower. What we saw and what I pulled from the data is the consensus estimate among Wall Street analysts. So you can see Wall Street has grown more pessimistic on Fisker's revenue forecast over the next 2 years. Over the next 2 years. In just the last 2 weeks, those estimates have come down. And so when we we also want to look at the diluted shares outstanding. Earlier when I did the video, Fisker had 343 million shares outstanding. Now in this video, I'm adding another 159 million shares to that equation because of what happened this morning. The reason why the stock price was up 20%. And that was because of an agreement that Fisker made with the lender, where the lender was converting some of the notes, thereby reducing the debt balance by 185 million, but also increasing the share count by 159 million. So I'm including this new 159 million shares into its diluted shares outstanding to incorporate this change in Fisker's capital structure. Okay, so if we take that $3.5 billion revenue estimate and we divide by the shares outstanding, we get a revenue per share of $6.97. And that's the figure I have here, revenue for 2025, $6.97. So if Fisker's price to sales ratio remains the same at 4.12 and it hits its revenue target for 2025, the estimated stock price is a whopping $28.72. That seems extremely high considering that it's currently trading at 96 cents per share. That would be a 28x increase. That seems unlikely. What's more likely is that Fisker's price to sales ratio will decrease, and that will be either 2, which would still be extremely elevated stock price at $13.94, or its price to sales ratio could fall to 1, which would mean the estimated stock price could be $6.97, or the price to sales ratio will fall to 0.25, which would leave its estimated stock price at $1.74. So all of these valuations would be higher than where it's at now at 96 cents per share, and that's understandable. If Fisker executes on the business plan and grows revenue as is estimated by Wall Street, then the stock price will be higher. Will be higher 2 years from now if the company can execute on the plan. The difficulty will be in Fisker actually executing on the plan. We've already seen revenue estimates come down significantly, not just in the last 2 weeks, but in the last 2 months. These estimates have been on their way down, 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 and there is no telling if they just continue moving lower, bringing down these valuation estimates. Now, when I made my video a couple of weeks ago on where I think Fisker, and it was published on January 4th, where I think Fisker's stock price will be in 1 year, my estimates ranged all the way from $11.57 to $1.65. But I ultimately said that my estimate, my best guess was that Fisker's stock price will end 2024 between $1.50 and $1.80. Now, even though the stock price moved up by 20% today, it's still below my estimate for $1.50 to $1.80 on the year. So, where do I think Fisker's stock price will be 2 years from now? I think it will be somewhere between $2 per share and $2.50 per share. So I think the progression of Fisker's stock price will be somewhere between $1.50 to $1.80 this year, and then move from $1.50 to $1.80 to somewhere between $2 and $2.50. So a slow progression higher for Fisker's stock price. I don't think it's going to explode to $28 per share. I don't think the price to sales ratio is going to stay the same. I think the price to sales ratio is going to move lower. I think these revenue estimates are going to continue moving lower because the company's having difficulty in the logistics of the business and just getting production and deliveries handled. But I think eventually it gets it under control, and I think the stock price moves higher if the company can execute over these next 2 years. And the big keyword here is execution. Can management fundamentally operate this business effectively? If they can do that, then this stock price moves higher. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.